watch number 22.
I've been watching Caitlin for a couple of years, and since then I've dreamed about coming to a game.
What if I told you a rookie basketball phenom could draw bigger crowds than NBA teams? Caitlin Clark's debut with the Indiana Fever isn't just breaking records, it's rewriting the playbook on fan engagement. With an average attendance of 17,000, the Fever are pulling in more fans than 5 NBA teams, including their hometown neighbors, the Indiana Pacers. Yup, more fans are attending Fever games compared to the Atlanta Hawks, Washington Wizards, Memphis Grizzlies, Charlotte Hornets, and yes, the hometown Pacers. But how did one player turn the tide so dramatically? Picture this: a sea of red and blue, fans packed shoulder to shoulder, all eyes on the court. The energy is electric, with Clark 22 jerseys everywhere you look. It's not an NBA playoff game, it's a regular season WNBA matchup, and Caitlin Clark is at the center of it all.
Whether it's Iowa, the Fever, or even both, the 22 Caitlin Clark jerseys were all across State Farm Arena Monday night.
Her journey from Iowa standout to WNBA sensation is the stuff of legends. She's gone from local hero to the league's most talked about player in record time. But this is just the beginning. What's got fans all hyped? In this video, we'll talk about the Caitlin Clark effect, her impact to the rest of the league, and how it's reshaping the basketball landscape. Before we break it down, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Caitlin Clark's story is far from over, and you won't want to miss a single moment.
Well, I knew the atmosphere was going to be electric when they announced Caitlin's name in the dark and the fans went crazy.
Clark's debut season was nothing short of historic. Imagine a player so electric she makes seasoned pros look like they're standing still. Now picture that same player drawing bigger crowds than even NBA teams. Impossible? Not for Caitlin Clark. The numbers don't lie, and they're staggering. Clark's rookie campaign with the Indiana Fever set the basketball world ablaze. She racked up an astounding 769 points, shattering the previous WNBA rookie scoring record. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Clark's court vision and passing ability are otherworldly. She dished out 337 assists, becoming the best all-time in a single season. It's not just about quantity. Her pinpoint passes create scoring opportunities that leave defenders scratching their heads. And let's talk about her shooting. Clark knocked down 122 three-pointers, setting a new rookie record and coming in second for the most triples in a single season in WNBA history. Her range extends well beyond the arc, forcing defenses to guard her the moment she crosses half court. Some even say the moment she enters the gym.
You talk about players that change the game when they're on the court, whether they're touching the ball or not. You have to guard her when she steps into the gym. And so I don't think we've seen anything like that in women's basketball. I've played against a number of great shooters.
Yes.
Somebody that when they walk in the gym, you have to guard them. And I think the way the game is played has allowed her to showcase that skill, to be able to take that shot. That shot's being a good shot. It speaks to where basketball is right now.
But Clark's impact goes far beyond the stat sheet. She's become a cultural phenomenon, drawing eyes to the WNBA like never before. Games featuring Clark averaged a whopping 1.178 million viewers, nearly triple the audience of games without Clark. The Fever's games have become the hottest ticket in town, whether they're in Indiana or elsewhere. Their final regular season game, which was in Washington, D.C., drew a record-breaking crowd of 20,711 fans. Let's remember, Indiana was the visiting team during this matchup, but most of the fans were there to see the Fever. That's not just impressive for the WNBA. It's a number that would make many NBA teams envious. Clark's arrival has electrified the entire Indiana Fever fan base. The team saw their total attendance skyrocket to over 600,000 for the season, a mind-blowing 182% increase from the previous year. Let that sink in for a moment. In just one season, Clark's presence nearly tripled the number of fans coming through the turnstiles.
The WNBA has seen record-breaking numbers this season in viewership, ticket sales, merch sales, and just overall growth of the league.
What makes Clark's impact truly special is how it ripples through the entire league. When the Fever come to town, opposing arenas see their attendance spike by almost double. They've had to move games to larger venues to accommodate the swelling crowds. It's a good problem to have, and one that speaks volumes about Clark's ability to captivate an audience. She's not just a star for Indiana, she's becoming the face of the entire WNBA. Even in the playoffs, the Clark effect shows no signs of slowing down. Ticket prices for Fever games have gone through the roof, with some seats fetching over $4,000. That's the kind of demand usually reserved for championship-deciding games, not first-round matchups. And guess what? That's what happened. A ticket to the Indiana Fever playoff games were more expensive than last year's WNBA Finals seats. What's truly remarkable is how Clark has inspired a new generation of basketball fans and players. Young girls and boys alike are picking up basketballs, trying to emulate her signature step-back three or no-look pass. She's not just changing the present of women's basketball, she's shaping its future. If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. We know watching this video takes some of your time, and we appreciate you. Now back to the action.
Big things are in store for the W, and it's because of Caitlin Clark.
Clark's on-court magic is captivating the next generation, but her effect on the business of basketball is nothing short of revolutionary. Imagine a world where WNBA games draw bigger crowds than some NBA matchups. It's not a fantasy, it's the new reality Clark has created. The ripple effect of Caitlin Clark's arrival in the WNBA extends far beyond the hardwood. Her impact is reshaping the entire landscape of professional women's basketball, creating a surge of interest that's unprecedented in the league's history.
Saying that since the start of the regular season, sales of WNBA merchandise are up over 500% versus the same period last year.
Let's talk numbers. WNBA merchandise sales have skyrocketed by an astounding 6 times since Clark's debut. Fans aren't just showing up to games, they're proudly wearing their support. Clark's Fever jersey became the top-selling jersey for a rookie in WNBA history, a testament to her instant popularity and marketability. But it's not just Indiana feeling the Clark effect. When the Fever hit the road, opposing arenas transform into Clark's home court. Take the Atlanta Dream, for instance. Their average attendance of over 3,000 ballooned to a staggering 17,600 when hosting the Fever. That's a jaw-dropping increase of almost 6 times. Teams across the league are experiencing attendance spikes of double or triple when facing the Fever, with swelling crowds eager to catch a glimpse of Clark in action. Clark's presence isn't just filling seats, it's capturing eyeballs across the nation. 6 different networks achieved their highest WNBA game viewership ever this season, all featuring Clark. She's not just a player, she's become must-see TV.
And the Fever are going to be over 200,000 higher than the next highest total attendance in league history. Clarkonomics, my friend!
What's truly remarkable is how Clark's star power is elevating her teammates and the league as a whole. Kelsey Mitchell, a seasoned Fever player, noted the positive halo effect Clark has had on the team. Mitchell's own visibility and fan engagement have increased dramatically, a direct result of playing alongside Clark.
I blame Caitlin. But I think it's a really great opportunity for us to kind of like present, who we are as a team.
This surge in popularity isn't just a flash in the pan. Clark is revitalizing interest in women's basketball on a fundamental level. Social media engagement around WNBA content has exploded, with fans dissecting game highlights, debating strategy, and celebrating the incredible athleticism on display. New fans are discovering the excitement of the WNBA, drawn in by Clark's highlight reel plays and staying for the high-level competition throughout the league. The Clark effect is creating a virtuous cycle. Increased attendance leads to more revenue, which can be reinvested in player development, marketing, and improving the overall fan experience. This, in turn, attracts even more fans and media attention, further growing the sport.
The top-selling WNBA player merch: Caitlin Clark, #1 in jersey sales, Angel Reese 2, Sabrina 3, Kate Martin 4.
We're witnessing a pivotal moment in women's sports history. Clark's impact goes beyond individual achievements or even team success. She's become a catalyst for change, challenging preconceptions about the marketability and appeal of women's professional basketball. The Clark effect isn't just about numbers, it's about connection and community. How does a 22-year-old freshman manage to unite an entire state's basketball fan base, from die-hard Pacers fans to the next generation of ballers? Caitlin Clark's impact on Indiana basketball goes far beyond her impressive stat lines. She's become a unifying force, bringing together fans of all ages and backgrounds. At every home game, you'll spot Indiana Pacers star Tyrese Halliburton courtside, cheering on the Fever. It's a powerful symbol of the mutual support between Indiana's NBA and WNBA teams.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for her to be here. I think it brings a lot of excitement to the city, and a city with a lot of young talent already as it is, and adding her, she's one of the faces of women's basketball, and for her to be here and under the same roof, I think is really exciting for me, and I think a lot of people.
This cross-team camaraderie extends to the coaching staff. Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle couldn't contain his admiration for Clark's game. "Big fan," he declared. "Love the 40-foot step-backs. Can't get enough." It's not just empty praise. Carlisle's excitement mirrors the sentiment felt across the entire state. What sets Clark apart isn't just her jaw-dropping skills, but her genuine connection with fans. After games, you'll often find her taking time to sign autographs, pose for selfies, and chat with supporters. It's this accessibility that turns casual viewers into die-hard Fever faithful.
You've been courtside for almost all of Caitlin's games. Any big takeaways and all of the different hoopla that she's having to experience on and off the court?
She's a great player, and I just like watching her play. I like watching all the girls play. You know, they're getting a lot better as the season's went on. Leah had a great game the other day. Kelsey's been great. But I like going watching basketball. So as long as I'm in Indy and I'm not doing nothing, I'm going to go watch the game. It's always fun to do. So I love being able to go watch Fever games. The excitement in the city is awesome. It's cool when I bring people who, like, I brought a couple friends who haven't been to a WNBA game before, and they're like, well, it's in the third level. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's what Fever games are like now, you know? So it's really cool to see the excitement around the team.
Despite the intense spotlight, Clark remains refreshingly grounded. During her introductory press conference, she emphasized her commitment to the team and city. "I can't think of a better place to start off my career," Clark stated, instantly endearing herself to Indiana basketball fans. This team-first mentality is evident in how Clark plays. While she's capable of taking over games single-handedly, she's just as likely to set up a teammate for an easy bucket. It's this balance of individual brilliance and selfless play that makes her such a captivating figure. Clark's arrival has sparked a basketball renaissance in Indiana. Youth leagues are seeing a surge in sign-ups, with young girls and boys alike dreaming of emulating her style. Local gyms are buzzing with the sound of basketballs as kids practice their long-range shots and no-look passes. The impact extends beyond just inspiring young players. Clark has become a role model for sportsmanship and dedication. Her work ethic and positive attitude are infectious, setting a new standard for what it means to be a professional athlete. Clark's popularity is bridging the gap between men's and women's basketball in unprecedented ways. Fans who may have never considered watching a WNBA game before are now tuning in religiously. The excitement surrounding Clark is challenging long-held assumptions about the marketability of women's sports. This shift in perception is crucial for the long-term growth of the WNBA. Clark's success proves that there's a massive appetite for high-level women's basketball when given the proper platform and promotion. It's forcing league executives and sponsors to reevaluate their approach to marketing the women's game. Caitlin Clark's arrival in the WNBA has sparked a revolution. The Indiana Fever now outdraws 5 NBA teams, including their hometown Pacers. It's not just about numbers. Clark's impact reaches far beyond the court. Her record-breaking rookie season has set new benchmarks for scoring, assists, and three-pointers. But more importantly, she's changing how people view women's basketball. Games featuring Clark are must-see TV, averaging over 1 million viewers. The Fever's attendance has skyrocketed by 182%, and opposing arenas are selling out when Clark comes to town. Merchandise sales are up 500%, with Clark's jersey becoming the top-selling rookie jersey in WNBA history. As Rick Carlisle, Pacers head coach, put it, "It's exciting times." Clark's success creating a new era for women's sports. How about you? Did you start watching the WNBA because of Caitlin Clark? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.